everything's gonna be okay, okay. Stop carrying problems through your life. Just let it be, cause everything will happen. So get up on your feet and stop worrying about things.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a bit of a chit chat as well as install a wig. The wig that we're going to be installing today is by Tinashe hair. I think I pronounced that right. Tinashe? Maybe it's Tinashe. This is the bag that it came in, this nice satin bag, and I really like these because they're really compact. I showed you guys in my apartment tour that I have these storage cubes that I keep my wigs in, and I actually label them. Having bags like these are really convenient because you can actually store them, know the brand that it came from and everything because it's already there on the bag. When I talked to many of you guys this weekend, some of you guys were saying that you were having a bit of a challenge trying to figure out how to store your wigs and different things like that. So these are very helpful. For those who didn't see my apartment tour, this is the storage cube. I have 8 of these actually, and I put my wigs in these, and I have these little bags that have my wig names on them. But this would easily just go in here without having to do a label and buy more of these bags. So I'm actually out of them. So I just thought I would share that. The unit today is a loose, deep wave texture. It does have, ooh, it feels like butter. Y'all, this unit is long. It's 24 inches. And look at the pre-plugged hairline. Look how nice that looks. Inside construction, pretty standard. This one does not come with an elastic band. It looks as though the front maybe inch or so has been bleached. So you don't have to worry about that part of it. But as you get a little deeper, you can see knots. So I am going to spray the Sally Hansen. And let me put it on my mannequin so you all can see what that actually looks like. So getting in closer, the first inch or so has been bleached, at least lightly bleached. So they have started the process for you. I don't even know if you all can see that, but if you're looking at it from my angle, you can kind of see some of the black dots. So I'm going to do the Sally Hansen in order to conceal the knots and also make it look more like my skin tone. This lace is thin, so that's going to be very good for making for a really realistic and natural install.
I wanna see the light. See the light. I wanna see the light. I wanna see the light. I wanna see the light.
All right, so we've already cut the lace off and everything. I've tinted the lace, and I also allowed for it to dry some before putting it on my head because oftentimes I'll put it on and it hasn't had proper time to set. So then it transfers on my forehead and we don't want that. So, ooh, oh, this is gonna be cute. Let's see if it covers my hairline. If you have a low hairline like me, you know that it's always a struggle trying to find units that fully cover and you don't have to do baby hair with. It looks like this might be a winner. And also because it's curly, if some of my edges are peeking out, it'll be okay. I love this curl pattern. It is so beautiful. So let's just talk while I install the unit. So I'm not sure what the direction of this chit chat is going to be, but I'm just going to share some thoughts that I've been having. So I read a quote, and I'm sure you guys have heard this quote before. And the gist of the quote pretty much illuminated the notion of us now being in the place that we once prayed for. So I came across this quote, and I've seen it before, but it was a really good reminder. Oh, and I'm using the Got2b glue in the yellow bottle. And I'm using the back of a toothbrush. This weekend I had popsicle sticks and I meant to go to the store to get some because those are so much easier to install a wig. So the quote that I saw was on Pinterest and it said, "Remember the days that you prayed for the things that you have now." Y'all, I was thinking about that the other day because I often reflect a lot. I reflect on everything. Since being a teacher, that's something that's really stuck with me. One of the key things that we learned in school was to be a reflective practitioner. So at the end of every day, we were challenged with reflecting on how we can improve on what we did that particular day so that tomorrow would be better. And so now I just do that in my regular everyday life. I just reflect on conversations I may have had with somebody, how I could have maybe posed something differently if I maybe posted something or did something. I'm just constantly reflecting because I want to make sure that whatever it is that I'm doing, that it's conveyed in the right manner and that people ultimately see Christ in me. And so looking at that quote, it was just such a great reminder of everything God has done within these last few years. Y'all don't even understand. Like, I am a small town girl. Many of you guys probably don't know that. People meet me and they're like, what? You're from a small town? You seem like you're a city girl. No, y'all. I'm from a small town of a population of about 300 people. So tiny. We had one stoplight. And that's my husband coming home if you guys hear the door slamming. But yeah, we came from really humble beginnings. And I am so grateful to be in the place that I am now. And that is such a great reminder of just how faithful God has been, just how life just seems to work itself out. And that just not being something that's by chance, but God has just strategically planned our lives, and just everything that we fret about, everything that we're concerned about. It's really no need to do that because He just works it all out. And so looking at where I am now is such a humbling place to be in because y'all. So now I'm just gonna blow dry the area where I put the Got To Be glue on the cool setting for about 20 seconds. So I'm just gonna pull it forward, and I like to start on the right side first and then work my way over to the left. So yeah, just reflecting on that quote, it helped to really just put things into perspective about how good God has truly been. And I am so, so grateful. And even just reflecting on this weekend and just how so many of you all came out and spent money to fly to where I was, or even spent hours in your car driving to the event. That truly meant so much to me that people would travel to come see me, like little old me. And it also kind of quiets this whole notion of feeling like, oh, I'm not where I want to be, or there are other goals that I want to achieve, but it causes you to just reflect on, you've made it this far, you've gotten here, and you used to pray for this. I remember nights that I used to cry in my room, praying that I would be able to move. I used to live in North Carolina, and I just felt like there was a time where I knew it was time for me to go. I just felt like the walls were closing in on me, and I was meant to be in a larger city. Where I'm from is such a small town, like literally a population of like 300 people, one traffic light. So being in a huge state like Texas is so far from what I ever thought growing up that I'd be in. I never thought I'd be outside of North Carolina. Better yet, be away from my sister, because we were like glued to the hip. We were never apart. We did everything together, and I was the one that was super shy, wouldn't talk to anybody, never wanted to be around anybody because I was too scared to talk. I was like so fearful of everything. I was thinking last night how amazing it is that I was the person that was staying with my sister. I couldn't even afford my own place at one point. So people who look at what you have now and they're like, how can you afford that? Or how are you able to do this? Or how are you able to do that? They look at the last chapter of your life, completely negating just everything that you may have gone through, what it took to get you there. And they just admire from a distance everything that they see. And they completely discredit the first few chapters where it may have been rather difficult for you, having to move in with my sister and her husband. And they were so gracious enough to let me stay there. And y'all, I gave them a hard time, like a really hard time, because I guess it was pride. I'm not the type that likes to mooch off someone else. I'm not the person that likes to ask for help. That's just not me. I like to be independent and have my own. And so that season of my life was rather challenging. And so I kind of took it out on them. But they had grace for all of my nonsense because, y'all, it was a lot. I gave them a hard time. Thanks, Martha. Yeah, they were such a blessing to me, and I'm so thankful for them. I'm just creating some baby hair right now. And now having my own place, now being married, I was literally the one that was in the group that was always by myself. Like everybody else amongst our friends, they were married, and I'm the one that's like the third, fourth, fifth wheel, sixth wheel, seventh wheel. It's like they would have couples nights and I wasn't really invited. I would be the person that had to keep the kids. So horrible. But now things are so different. It's so amazing just what time will do. And honestly, I'm so thankful thinking about that season of my life that it did not happen early. I used to think like, man, like those who are coming up in this generation who are privy to YouTube and have access to technology and just different things that I wasn't privy to growing up, or just this new state of mind that you can just make a business out of anything. Now having access to so much is so phenomenal. And those growing up in this generation should be so appreciative, because when I was growing up, YouTube wasn't a thing. And if it was, I probably wouldn't even feel like I was qualified enough or good enough to do that, because again, I was shy. Just now having a platform like this where I can be creative and do something that I really enjoy, it's just such a blessing to be able to have an impact on others and being able to influence them just by the life that I live. I'm not somebody that comes on my channel and that consistently just throws out scripture or just, you know, constantly talks about God. But I feel like the life that you live speaks for itself. It was so humbling thinking about those years and my sister just being there for me and welcoming me with open arms. Such a blessing. And I believe her husband was probably the one that even offered for me to come stay with them, which was so amazing. That was the sweetest thing ever. And I couldn't appreciate it then because I had pride, of course. I was just that independent person. So now having to move in with my sister was kind of like a smack in the face. But having the courage after I felt like God told me to move to actually do that was huge for me. My sister and I had not been many places. We hadn't done many things. And so to just step out and take such a huge leap was just the Lord Jesus Christ, because I was never that girl. I never had that mentality. And then years later to be challenged with quitting my job, being here in a city where I don't have family. All I've known is teaching. So deciding to just quit my job, that was a huge thing for me. That was like monumental. That was never something that I thought I could do. I never thought I would do, actually. And so getting to a place where I decided to quit, that was hard. But then now, you know, you have the faith during that moment and you're on this high and you just believe God can do anything. And then weeks go by and there's no work, because I literally thought this was going to be a quick transition. I have a master's degree. I'm going to be able to get a job in no time. Nobody was responding to emails. Nobody was calling me for interviews. It was just a really dry season. And y'all, I cried a lot. I was frustrated a lot, because in that season, I knew I was doing what I was supposed to do. I knew that it was time for me to go ahead and let that go. God had already told me that teaching was going to be temporary, that would be the vehicle to get me to Texas, but it would not be what sustained me. But I had no idea that this was going to be what I was going to be doing. Never would I ever have thought that. it was something that I thought, you know, that would be nice. I would love to do YouTube full time. I'd love to be able to encourage and inspire others, but I didn't think that was really possible. Like me, no way. That's not possible. You know, you see others doing it and it's like, oh, they're just the exception. You know, that's just something that they're able to do. But no, girl, you can't do that. That's not going to happen for you. And if it does happen, it's going to take years. And guys, it did take a little bit. It took a few months of figuring things out, you know, before anything ever worked out, because the first few months after I quit my job, they were hard. Like really hard. It's like after you've spent all of your savings, you know, covering bills and everything, it's like, okay. It really starts to set in that you don't have any more income coming in. What are you going to do, Mary? Some of you guys have asked me if I would ever go back to teaching. And as of right now, I don't have a desire to go back into that. I enjoyed it while it lasted, but I feel like that season for me is up. And maybe years down the line, you know, just as a backup thing, maybe that'll be something I explore. But right now, I don't desire to go back into teaching. Education has changed so much. Like, it's just crazy how much it's changed. Administration and just all facets of education is just different. And it wasn't fun anymore for me the last few years. To be honest, I feel like I was babysitting. I had so many kids in my class who were not supposed to be in there. They were clearly kids who should have been identified. And now I'm the person that's challenged with going through that process with them and having kids punching me. I had a kid in my class that was punching me in the leg, that would curse on a regular, like grown-up words, real bad, harsh curse words at me and also the other students in the class. It was just really challenging, and I tried my best, you know, because I wanted to still be a light to that child, because I know it's really not their fault, the things that they've been exposed to, the household that they were raised in. But, you know, certain things you're just not able to be able to do on your own. And I don't feel like I had the support that I needed. I was constantly coming to work, staying late, and just feeling depleted because I'm having to work with a child who really needs one-on-one help, but he's in a regular setting, and I'm having to do so much to make sure he's taken care of, as well as the other class, and it was just not reasonable. So now I'm just gonna comb out the curls. I love how this is looking. Y'all, this is in 250% density, so it's very full. It's gonna give you a great deal of volume. And these curls, I love big chunky curls, and this is just doing it for me. So yeah, I just had a lot of challenges throughout my teaching profession, just all the years teaching, to be honest. I was always given the most challenging group, and I'm not sure why that would happen, but they always wanted to give the kids to me. And, you know, it's great. I'm open to a challenge, but at the end of the day, I still want to be sane. I still want to be healthy, be in my right mind. And it was just overwhelming. So eventually, I just felt like, okay, God, I'm going to give this to you. You let me know what direction you want me to go in. And I felt like that's where God was leading me, to quit my job. And I did that. And now, years later, after interesting times, I don't have time to get into all of it, but God has made a way. He has shown himself faithful. One thing that I've learned over the years, and it's something that I really want to convey to you guys, is to be humble. Don't discredit the power of humility. Being humble will absolutely get you exalted. There's scripture that says that those who exalt themselves will be humbled. But those who humble themselves, God would exalt. And that is so true. And he has done that. I have had such a humble spirit, and God has just done such awesome things in my life. I often get asked, Mary, what's the secret? How are you able to get to where you are? How are you growing so fast? Y'all, the secret is Jesus Christ. The secret is God. I give him all of the glory. I'm just using this 3D face creator in order to refine the front hairline. And I'm gonna probably have to go in with my contour foundation in order to blend it out, because I feel like this might be a little too light. But I often get asked, what is the secret? How are you growing so fast? How are your numbers, you know, consistently increasing? My answer will always be the same. It's God. Nobody but God. He is the one that has done it all. He just keeps breathing on my channel. He just keeps sending you all, allowing you all to find my channel, allowing me to grow. Y'all, last year, at the end of last year, I was at 75, 80K on YouTube. And now I've doubled. God, oh, wow. I've done over double that. So this is the foundation stick I'm going to be using. It's in color Espresso. And this is the color that I use to contour. Yeah, my answer will always be the same. It is God. Y'all, remain humble. I love when I meet somebody who has a large following or may have status, and you would never think that they have the status or whatever it is that they have, because they don't allow that to dictate their character and how they treat other people. I always want to be that way. That's something that's really important to me. Whenever I meet anyone, I never want them to feel like I'm looking down on them or I feel like I'm better. There are some people that I meet and they don't have to say anything, but there's just this stench of arrogance that I abhor. I absolutely abhor coming across somebody who feels like they're better than somebody else. I don't care what you have. I don't care who you are, what your status is. You can be the president of the United States, and God bless America, the president we have now. But that doesn't matter to me. I don't care if you're a celebrity. You are no better than me. I am no better than anyone. We are literally dirt. We came into this world naked and without anything, and we're gonna leave the same way. I don't understand why people get to a place where they get arrogant and they feel like they can look down on other people. And for me, I'm now in a position where when I think about the years of working so hard and feeling like my numbers weren't increasing, or just working at my channel or just other things and feeling like other people were moving faster than me, I'm so glad that I didn't get things in life too fast, because what often happens is those who've gotten it so fast, maybe they got it in their 20s, or maybe, you know, they were privileged growing up. Those are the people who don't have a great appreciation for anything, and that arrogance, that pride, and those things that really aren't good character attributes, those are the things that they possess because they got it too soon. Anything premature is really not a blessing. It could be a curse. And I'd rather be someone who has nothing and has good character than to be somebody who's rich and looks down on other people. So as you all grow in life, as you all achieve in life, be humble. That is, for me, that is one of my prized possessions, that I have humility. I'm so, so grateful for that. Let me show you all what this hair looks like. Okay, so I'm going to give you all the full spin. This hair is absolutely gorgeous. This is how long it is. Now, if you were to wet it down, I'm sure it's going to look so much more amazing, but I don't want to do that because I like how chunky these curls are. Just love this big hair. It looks so good for my face shape. I feel like it makes me look slimmer. So pretty. But yeah, guys, remember to be humble in whatever state you're in your life, no matter what you have, no matter what level you get to, whatever you attain. Remember that it is God that has given you everything that you have, and you have no reason to feel as though you have arrived. No matter what stage you get to in life, it is not you that got yourself there. But ultimately what I'm trying to say is just be humble. It will go a long way. Humility is such a powerful tool, and so many of us lack that. I hope that you all enjoy videos like these. Today was just kind of random thoughts of just showcasing my gratitude. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate everyone who decides to come to my channel, who leaves a comment, who likes, who does anything related to my journey and my platform. I just appreciate you guys, and I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that. I never want to get to a place where I feel like I don't honor and give thanks to those who helped me to get to where I am. So I love you guys, and I really appreciate your support. Video after video, your comments, even on Instagram. Your love and support really means a great deal to me, and I want to make sure that I say that on a regular. So yeah, that's the end of this video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to check the description box for the link and all the specifications to this gorgeous unit. It looks so fabulous. I look forward to your comments and feedback. Like this video. Also share my channel with one of your friends, anyone you know. I met so many of you guys this weekend who were like, I'm consistently telling people about your channel. I appreciate that. You guys, please do that. I love you all, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. I promise this video is over, but I did want to let you all know that I woke up to this morning. My account on Instagram had been hacked. Pray that I get my page back because it took a while for me to grow that. The enemy is busy. He did not want me to give God glory today, but God still reigns. He's still in control, and it's all going to work out. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.